What is up, my dudes? It's Pacman here. Today I want to bring you guys another brand new episode of Or6 Analysis, the show where I take your footage and show you where to best improve. So today we're checking out my man Haas Nurture, basically a gold 2, gold 1, gold 2, looking to break through that plateau and push into low plat. Can't quite figure it out. Says he watches all the videos, you know, he tries to emulate the top tier guys and the way they play, but just can't really, you know, figure it out and can't really, break through that plateau and enter that platinum region. So hopefully today we can check a few things out, look at the gameplay and, give you a few pointers and put you in the right direction. But just before we get started, guys, a quick message from today's video sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by Ironside, an FPS game that has just recently launched globally on Steam. The game is consistently being updated, with the development team communicating directly with the community and listening to their feedback. Ironside's recent updates have introduced the Groza AR, the Benelli shotgun, along with another classic game mode, Gun Game. The winter update brought a range of new festive gun skins, some costumes, some new UI features suggested by the community, and a new piece of tactical equipment that will help keep you in the battle for longer, the syringe. Download and enjoy Ironside for free on Steam. With low system requirements and an even lower download size, there's nothing stopping you from playing right now. Make an account now and receive a free DLC pack to help you get started. Alright, cool. Let's get going. Thank you again, Raid, for sponsoring today's video. And just so that you guys know, I've been receiving tons and tons of messages, even more so than ever recently, with people asking about how they can get featured on the show or if I can review their footage. And I'll be honest with you, there is like a lot of people that reach out and want to be part of the show and want to have their footage reviewed. So right now, the only way you can actually do that is to follow the link in the description and send in your footage with the description of the gameplay, you know, your rank and so on. And it's kind of like lucky dip, and I just pick one at random, really. But I will soon be adding a different version, which is going to be like a paid option for those of you that just, you know, don't want to kind of leave it up to lucky chance. But I'll be announcing that probably sometime in February. But look, without wasting too much time, let's get straight into it. But the first thing that I've noticed, you've pulled the shield down now. So I don't know, because it's weird, because I haven't really been playing with the new Jaeger too much. I've seen it, but like the reality is, right, so the reason that you've got this shield pulled, oh god, we've got the epic pen out. I'm out of the sling, by the way, guys, as you can notice, but my shoulder is still absolutely bollocks, so I'm very disabled still. I just look less disabled. Basically, this wall here, in my personal opinion, I would like to see that this shield pushed up a little bit further, closer to the wall with a little bit of a pixel angle. Because right now, like you can hold this angle and just wait till you see your head here, and then, you know, peek up and strafe out and take a shot. If you want to, right? But what you can also do is, if you have it like a little bit, like imagine like it's like that, it looks like that, it's right there. Right, what you can do is you can actually have like a pixel angle created, so you can hold an angle directly under the door, just through this little pixel. It's incredibly hard for them to shoot you off it, but it can be an easy way for, as soon as you see a pixel, as you call it, right? So someone's head, preferably, if your crosshair placement's on point, you can just take that pop shot, and sometimes you get a free kill. It's the same thing as doing that, but you actually have the ability to shoot through it without exposing your whole body by bouncing up and down. So it's another kind of little thing that you should think about when using deployable shields, because it's a really powerful technique, I guess, right? Nothing wrong with what you're doing right now, so like just an FYI, this is just an extended hold onto blue for those that don't know. It's pretty common, I guess, anywhere. I'm not sure if it's could even be common down silver and below, but I would imagine anywhere from gold onward, you would see something like this. As you get to the higher and higher ranks, it even can change even more and get a little bit more intricate. Like you can have the rotate be a standing rotate, or you can have the rotate be here, and this one be reinforced. There's a few different ways you can go about doing it, but this is a pretty standard way to make it harder, I guess, for the enemy team to take blue. All right, to take blue. So you can hear they're above, unless that's one of your teammates, which would I would assume that would mean that they're likely going for either the meeting hatch or they're going for like a laundry freezer split. So we'll see how that plays out. That Legion's getting to a fight. You're just sitting here holding blue. Nothing wrong with that. But I would just recommend, yeah, if you're gonna hold blue, to just hold blue and be that guy holding blue. Sometimes you can even get up and get a little bit aggressive on it. You don't have to, right? Because you are in a powerful position here. But like it does help if you're in communication with that Jaeger, right? Because if the Jaeger's up here, you know, being really aggressive, taking pop shots, you can kind of, you know, base off that information. So once they're not in blue, you can kind of take a little bit more of an aggressive approach. Or if you don't think they're playing blue, or if they haven't even, this barricade's not, it might not even be open. I'm not sure. I actually don't know. But if that barricade's closed, for instance, what you can do is you can play a little bit wider, just kind of in blue bunker, leave your shield here for late days, because if they do decide to rotate down, but what you can do is you can rotate through to bunker and help hold like big tower stairs from blue, because as an enemy, usually when you're coming down big tower stairs, this is all very hypothetical, but it's just food for thought, right? Because as an enemy, when they're coming down big tower stairs, they don't always check deep into blue bunker, because that's kind of assumed to be like enemy territory for the most part, right? They don't expect players to be that aggressive in blue and fighting them as they're coming down. They're checking for the hallway, the pillar, they're checking for the E-box, right? They're checking for people swinging in those places. So if you actually swing from what they would kind of assume to be their, you know, enemy position, like, you know, an attacking position, it can catch people off guard. So it's just a little bit food for thought. I'm rambling. Let's keep watching. Oh, it's because I got the rubber out. Okay, so it sounds like there is one in blue close. It's a sledge somewhere. 5v4. I think that could be... Is that freezer or is that big tower? It's hard to tell. Like, without... Communication is just so important, hey? Because, like, that Legion's now gone down, so I would imagine where that Legion mine earlier would probably be someone deep in freezer, and he's just shot him, even though he's dead here around pillar. He's probably been shot from a long angle from someone, yeah, freezer ways. Because that Legion mine didn't sound like it was big tower. So now it's a little bit of a tricky one, because you're in like an extended position. If freezer's not being held, and you know now you're kind of rotating off blue without reinforcing up that wall, it can get really dicey here. So let's see how this one plays out. Okay, so your Falc's gone off, but they're pushing down laundry in the same way. Yeah, 1v3, it's not looking good here. Someone's going to be on your extension. You've got one playing from freezer and then one playing from laundry. So at this point, I would probably start to either cancel out angles. So, you know, take this rotate here. I don't know what the setup looks like out there, but take this rotate here and try and fight the guy that you know to be alone at laundry, unless they've got it open. The freezer wall open, so that it's really 2-on-1 out there. But maybe go for that sort of a play. What you really want to be doing, or even just get aggressive on this guy that's you're pretty sure is going to be on the extension, right? To just peek out and take a shot. Just remember your shield's going to be there. But when you're in situations like this, 1v3, your best bet is to get aggressive and try and make it down to a 1v2, and just keep a map of where your players are, right? So, like, obviously I'm not even playing in this round, but where the players are is bottom laundry, freezer, as far as I know anyway, bottom laundry, freezer, and extension, right? So blue bunker, the extension. So let's see how it plays. Let's see how you take it. Sounds like there's one close. That ace is probably freezer. There's one close here. Yeah, that's unlucky. Okay, the ace was just there on the other side of big tower. So that's that sledge, right? So that sledge is literally just pushed out from that freezer doorway and just rotated. He still thinks you're in the extension, and that's why it doesn't pay dividend a lot of the time, dude, to just kind of like, might sound a bit silly, but when you're hearing them and you're mapping them and you're kind of isolating players, like, know that them players are coming there, and get aggressive and try and knock it down back into that 1v2 and then maybe that 1v1 and so on and so forth. But you can't really just sit in a corner like this in an enclosed room, because eventually you're going to get dropped. Even if you didn't die here, like, it's still not easy, right? So yeah, it's unfortunate. It's not necessarily your fault at all, but when you're extended like that and you fall off an extension without dealing with the guy in blue to come, I know you did it to come back and help, but it can just, yeah, it really just traps you in. So when you're in them situations, try and isolate your 1v1s and yeah, take the gunfights, man. No point in not being aggressive. Okay, round 2. playing the bandit now. You've moved upstairs. Man, it feels like I haven't been making videos at all recently. My output's been so low, but I am working on some cool stuff like outside of like just straight content for 2021, which is going to be fun, really fun, and it's going to, like, I think be real useful. So I've got a lot of kind of things in the works and stuff like that, but I do really want to get back into, 3+ videos a week, easy. It's just hard, man, when you're in that one-arm bandit, it's just incredibly hard because everything just takes you like twice as long. But I'm starting to get out of the kind of debilitated point and starting to get back to like, even better health than before, hopefully. That's the plan. So I'm just in them kind of like that intensive physio stage at the moment. But look, enough rambling. So at this point, right, let's take a look at this situation again. So you've only got like site setup wise. I'm not going to go too deep. It looks like you're in solo queue right now. This ain't it. This is like the way that you guys have this structured out. There's far too many holes in the way that you're positioned right now, because right now, like, there's, the breach isn't really something to worry about. But if that breach is open, which it should be soon, the breach is going to be there, right? But you've got your white stairs, just your standard white stairs. People to push. What is going on here? People to push up white stairs. You've got the big window. You're holding big tower when there's, it's unlikely for someone to be pushing, attic. It's unlikely for someone to be pushing attic already at 2 minutes 10. This is what you're playing is a very like last 45 seconds of the round sort of position, right? After you've been squished back a little bit. You don't want to be sitting here at this point in the round. But again, as a team, you don't want to be this spread out, because right now it's 4 individual one-on-one gunfights that you're going to have. And if your teammates are working together and droning each other out, you're just going to get picked apart, bang, 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 sort of like what happened in that first round. So there's no trading happening. So for you specifically, like if you're going to be holding attic, just hold attic more aggressively at the start, because you don't want to be giving them so much real estate so early into the round. You should kind of play more aggressively in attic until you're forced back to a position like that. And by that point, later in the round, they're not going to have as much time to rethink about their situation, so they will just have to push you. And, at that point, you'll have a favored position. Okay, so they're going for the breach now. The Valk's back on site. The smoke is pushed down. That smoke got a little bit too aggressive there. A little bit too aggressive. You're peeking the holes. The Valkyrie's getting on. You're missing some rotates as well, just some basic stuff. Like obviously the kids' dorms, like to big window. That wall should be open there so you can protect big window. Because right now that's a huge kind of gap for these guys. They can easily enough just push big window, and they're just not doing it, which is unfortunate for them. But yeah, it's just a hole again. Now the breach is open. Same thing. Like I don't know if you guys have the communication. If you can get that Valkyrie to call if someone's at trophy. Because right now, if I were you, I would be far more focused on, just for me anyway, I would be more focused on the breach, because I'm pretty sure you'll be able to find a free pick from there. It's likely someone might swing trophy door as well, but just use the Valkyrie to give you that call out. Alright, like it's just like the real basic points of information. As I say it, someone pushes trophy and someone pushes breach. Also, just coming back here, one quick thing to mention is I'm pretty sure like this guy Sus Osas had said help him bandit. Like come on, like that Valkyrie is far too exposed to be health. She is not being picked up at this point in the round, when the obvious 2 positions that they're going to be pushing from is trophy, and then there's going to be one on breach, right? So there's 2 pretty clear places that these guys are going to be. So at this point in the round, like you don't want to be like, there's no way. How is that going to work? Like really thinking about it, like you're going to get stopped at some point. So don't be too influenced as well by like teammates kind of like telling you how to play in backseat gaming a little bit, unless you like, you really do trust that player. Because, that's just a bad call. You've reacted to it, and then, you've died, which is completely understandable considering the situation that you were in. Okay, round 3, you're running that back. I wonder if your teammates are going to get as aggressive this time. And just FYI, like what the way that we set it up, you can set it up in kind of 2 different ways. Like some people will set it up so that like there's like feet holes on this side, and then this wall here is reinforced. Like really, I think there is like pretty 2 standard, unless one way is like well and truly done more in competitive play now. But the way that we would do it as well, like isn't that we would do like. Again, it depends who I'm playing with, but like we would do like a kind of like a midline of sight hole, like shotgunned out holes here. That's maybe vaultable. Maybe make it vaultable, and then the wall here to be reinforced, because there's a really strong position God. There's a really strong position like just over here to the left where that shield was in that first round. Right, so there's a strong position there, and from that position you can kind of swing back in this door, and if this is all shot out here, you can help, you can help peek at big window and, to deter them from actually just jumping in and having free will. Right, so there's a few different ways, but you definitely don't want to just all soft or all reinforce for that matter. Like, you want to do something with it for sure. Otherwise, again, it's just good, solid teams will they'll just see it immediately, right? Like, they'll just be like, yo, they haven't, no rotates on big window, or, big window's double reoed, and then you go, okay, we should just completely attack that. Everything, call off all of the shots, we're going big window, boys. Because it's kind of free at that point, there's not much you can do about it. Okay, so again, you're going into a 3v5 here, and a lot of the issue is just how spread out it is, right? Again, it's just another untradeable, two untradeable gunfights that are happening right now. It's not necessarily your fault. Here, again, I would way rather see you up there, in attic, and actually, defending, the reinforcement, or just, playing off a shield and just holding more real estate, not being squished back onto site. You've got the whole last minute of the round to do that, the last 30 seconds of the round. And from a position like this, in attic, you can kind of peek the breach, right? So you can peek that breach that's directly across, and you can kind of peek the trophy door, help support them positions. Right here, you're holding a window that, when we're looking at it realistically, it's unlikely someone's going to come rappelling through this window right now. And there's no one in attic, so this position is just not great. It's too far back. You're just not aggressive enough currently. You're just playing on site where you should be a little bit more, aggressive. And at this point as well, just an FYI, right? You can just lob a C4 onto this barricade, and a lot of the time, the way that C4s work in Siege, a lot of the times it just gets a kill. It's crazy. If you just throw it onto the wooden barricade before it breaks, and then just blow it, if he's anywhere around that kind of close to the edge, a lot of the time it just, game over. And you just get a free kill. It's kind of ridiculous, but dude, definitely worth it in the same way. So that's what I'd be doing right now with a C4 in my pocket. I'd just be, chuck it on, see what's happening, because he's definitely on rappel there. At this point, though, you're a minute into the round, and realistically, it's not looking good. So you're going to get aggressive, it looks like. And then, again, so just mechanically, just here, again, this is all kind of nitpicky stuff, right? But just mechanically speaking, so when you're going for a shot like this, or you're coming out to try and attack this window here, what you need to be doing is you need to be... because if he's holding an angle, if he knows you're here and he's just holding you right now, he's just waiting for you to come around this corner, you're in trouble peeking it this way, right? So the way you do it. Very slow, right? So you just kind of strafe out, one movement, you're just kind of hello, what's going on over here? It's very basic. What you want to be doing is going from maybe a standing position and then just going downwards, crouching into it, taking a pot shot, and then just strafing directly back out afterwards. Just make your movement a little bit hard, a little bit more unpredictable. So you just pop out, use peeker's advantage, just a quick peek, take a shot, and then come back around. So that's definitely what I'd be doing in situations like that when they're holding a power position. Okay, now you're kind of just sitting in a position right here, You're in a losing gunfight, because you're standing here for two reasons. Number one, this guy is going to have Pika's advantage. If you're the one that's holding an angle hard, the other player is the one that's going to have Pika's advantage, right? So if they use it right and just strafe into a shot, take a pop, you're dead, right? So if you're holding hard angles, try your best to make them pixel angles. But number two, look, so you're aiming right here, right? So you're aiming right there. So you're just praying and hoping that this guy's head pops up here, because anything else and you're done, right? So if his head, what happens if he's upside down? What happens if he goes beep and then goes there, right? Or what happens if this barricade's a bit weird? He's only this should be open really. It's actually doing him a disjustice. He should have opened it fully. But that's the thing, right? There's even if his head is just, if that's his body and his head's here, if he's a good enough shooter, he's going to kill you. There's so many positions that he can be, and there's so few positions that you can be, right? His head can pop up anywhere on this axis, right? On this axis. So his head could be anywhere there, really. And then, you know, you're just kind of hard holding and hoping that he's just specifically in the bottom left corner. So be careful of that when you're, I guess, when you're fighting against people that are on rappel, because it's a really fast way to just get domed. Yeah, and as I said, after that long introduction, his head did pop up there. So nice shot. But again, that's that unfortunate thing about, like, sometimes, like, you know, even though you get the kill, it may not be the correct play. And then you tend to do that play again, and you might make that move again. That was a nice attempt on the C4. So now at this point again, so like your first position here, you're in a 2v3, dude. Like, think about it. So you're in a 2v3, you find one. So okay, so there's one on breach, right? So you know you got one on breach and you've got one on trophy. Why do you, when you're in a 2v3 right now, like, why do you move into a room that's basically got like one exit, one to 1.5 exits? Like, it's, yeah, like to a position like this, like, it's very, like, they can plant. Like, they don't even have to come deal with you. They can plant right there or over there. Like, they don't even have to deal with you right now. Like, you just kind of like, it's just a little bit too passive. All right, so you're in a position where you actually know where some of them are. Take advantage of that, man. You have to use that information to the best of your ability. Now you don't really know, and it's not as strong a position. If you're in big tower and you're taking little pop shots, you're just in a stronger position. You can take gunfights, because if not, it's just a matter of time until, you know, the man count just punishes you, you know, and a situation like that happens where they move up white. Right, so you just be confident in yourself, man, and take gunfights when you can see them, but just utilize quick peeking. Don't just slowly peek out over an angle. I'll put a couple of links in the description for a few of my videos. I did one on, like, basic gunfighting and just bobbing in and out, and then number 2 was just like quick peeking specifically. So I'll link them in the description. Maybe check them out, my man. Okay, match point. You're on the Cali now, which is surprising. I thought I was going to see some Ash. Zoif. Okay, so they're playing Master. They've got a shield base setup. That shield there, by the way, if you ever see a shield like that, it's actually quite counterable, just from the window that's aligned with, it's like satellite window, or just a opposite satellite window. Top of Amory stairs, the window that's like, when you come up to the top directly in front. Sorry, let me just actually draw it. There's like a window right over here, like at the top of the stairs. And that has full access. If they're playing close on this shield, you can just see them. So you can actually make a pretty redundant shield. But yeah, just keep it in mind. That's one way to deal with it, because it can be quite a difficult, quite a stronghold. Okay, so that alibi is chilling behind the bed. This is not what you want to do, by the way. This alibi should be dead meat, right? 'Cause she's trapped. But we'll see how this goes. Don't be afraid to just chuck another drone out, but in the same way, so that's not the alibi, she's dipped. But in the same way, just know who you are in comparison to who you're playing with, and what sort of are you that person that should be taking that gunfight? Because sure as shit probably shouldn't be that thermite. You know, like, the only hard breach. Granted, you know, you're this kind of like, whatever you call it, like, you're gonna get that like utility in that respect, that you're gonna help remove utility from the wall. But you know, you can always do that with Buck or just from below in general. So yeah, it's probably more important for the thermite to survive in a round like this. Okay, so you got the shield down. That's well played. That is well played. Let's see how this round plays out. So at this point as well, another thing to note is that your teammates have begun to rotate, right? So they're rotating towards, like, they're like bottom small tower or something like that down there. I'm not sure if they're going for a big window play, but it's just, yeah, at this point, if you're the only one that's in big tower, you've got the big sniper and they know you're there, it might just pay dividends to just rotate off, literally just hop over the balcony and go, you know what, you can have Master. The bomb's over there with the boys. If they go down, I'm in trouble. So, yeah, you can always just dip off. Oh my god, she was doing the dirty. No, she wasn't. I did notice that as well. Yeah, there. I actually did notice that. That's so funny, eh? I was gonna say it, but I was like, I don't know, deep in thought. So do you see that hologram just disappear here for a second? She's walked into it. That is hilarious. That is so funny. Unlucky alibi. Later. But again, it's not like your fault. You actually got the pick there, but yeah, it's just the way it is. This game just ain't it for you boys. It's the solo queue life to a certain extent. But let's see what you can do. Let's see if you can cop a few kills here. They look like they're getting aggressive. Dear Lord. One's coming in from below as well. The Malusi is running at you from below. It's not looking good here, Chief. Let's see if you can pad the stats. It's not looking good, though. Oh, the Mozzie's just even further sending it. Oh my god. Oh my god, that just scared me. Nice shots. Yes! Yes. You gotta love it, eh? I love padding a bit of stats. Okay, so just FYI, right? Like, it's like rotating to get the bomb with this little time left when it's that far away. Like, by the time you actually get to site, like, you're probably not going to have time to plant, considering it's a 1v2. It's not a bad move, but just something you should keep in mind. It's just the clock, right? Because look how much time's left on the clock right now. You got the bomb, but it's going to be hard to get that bomb down in 15 seconds. That's unfortunate. Yeah, look, dude, it's there's a couple of little things. There's a few things that are like very workable, right? So like as I mentioned there, like, you know, just it's crazy because most of the time I'll be watching these videos. I say like, you know, you just relax, don't be as aggressive when you've got the lead, take the time and stuff like that. But I guess when you're watching something 4-0, when you're watching people get 4-0, like something's going wrong, right? So in your particular situation, the way that you guys were interacting as a team there just wasn't it. You were just all playing your individual, like, yeah, positions that were just, there was no cohesion. But in your particular situation, play a little bit more aggressively. So hold positions a little bit more aggressively, like you did in the first round, right? You were holding that bunker position, ready to take gunfights, and saying, no, I'm not going to let the enemy team take this kind of real estate. Yeah, so that was good, right? The way that kind of round played out in the end, there was a few like minor mistakes that ended up kind of like, you know, you were in a 1v3 regardless, but a few minor mistakes that stopped you from making it competitive, which is fine, right? But then in the next couple of rounds, you're playing a lot more passively with Bandit. You're not taking the gunfights when you smell them. And yeah, you're not holding positions as aggressively. So you can hold a position like potentially like in Attic, like I said there, like with the shield. You can still keep playing smoke if you want, you know, or put a shield facing trophy and try and hold trophy door and hold the breach. But don't just give them as much real estate. Don't sit back in kids and just chill out and wait for nothing to happen. Yeah, that'd be the one thing that I would say. And then, yeah, you just got to work on the cohesion. It's gonna, like, realistically, making that push up to platinum. If you find yourself a 5-stack and work on these things together, or just even 2 or 3 people, I'm not sure if you were playing with anyone here, but because I didn't hear you communicate at all there as well. So, yeah, it's just one of those things. It's going to be tough to push past. Like, really, the way that I always try and explain it to people is, even if you feel like you might potentially be, you know, gold 1 level, I'll be honest with you, you don't scream to me like you are, like, you know, you should definitely be in Plat 3 with mechanics alone. I'm sure if you're in a team, you could be. It looks like you're pretty close to where you should be, I guess, to an extent. But what's really going to help you out, for sure, my man, is just finding some teammates and improving on these things together, and get beat, and then, you know, learn and keep going like that. So I think that's probably what you need next, and that's what's going to be able to to get you to that next point in your Siege career. But nevertheless, HasNurja, thank you very much. You can see the name right there. I'm sure I've murdered that. Look, it is that reads HasNurja to me. But I really do appreciate you sending in the footage, man, and I wish you the best. Be sure to keep me updated with the journey. And like I said at the beginning of the video, guys, if you do want your chance to win, or to not win, but to win a spot on the show, I guess, be sure to fill out the link in the description. Go to the link in the description and fill out the form. And yeah, like I said, I will be adding kind of like another version, like a little learning platform sometime in February. I'll announce more details sooner at the time. But yeah, for now, that's what you have to do. Just follow that link and yeah, submit the footage and we'll see what we can do. But as always, guys, if you enjoyed the content, please be sure to like and subscribe. But without wasting too much time, I will see you in the next one. Peace.